Hey folks, very quickly, just to put you all in context, here basically Anthony starts off the video talking about why he thinks that Zyzz was actually not suffering from depression. Enjoy and see you in the next video.
When people get like that, one of the first things they do is they withdraw. They withdraw from interacting with other people. He didn't do that at all. Look at the last two videos that he made. And the second last one was the one in the car with the ice cream, I think. And then there was the last one in the gym where his friend that he worked with came and pretended to fight me. I mean, that was a pretty positive, upbeat video. And that was right before he went.
I only could see it if he tried a new drug that changed drastically his...
Yeah, okay, yeah, well, that's not impossible. But again, as I said before, my argument to that is I can't see him doing something like that when he's had surgery.
Yeah.
I think to be honest, most people would not make that mistake. It doesn't make sense. And I've sort of gone back and thought over these things. I mean, I had my observation of him at the time. I had some interaction with him, chatted with him at the time, but also even now going back, not just going off my memory, but going back and looking over what videos are online, etc., and reassessing it, it hasn't changed my mind. If anything, I'm more convinced that there's no way that that he committed suicide. Unless his family come out and said that was the case. But even there, how would they know? It seems that the one consistency is that he fell asleep and didn't wake up. Now, the only vague area, was it a massage parlor or a sauna? The official thing was a sauna. I think we know it was in the massage parlor. Why would you commit suicide in a massage parlor? You'd probably do it in your hotel room or on the beach.
Yeah, that's right. You are actually right. Like, if he committed suicide,
I'm going to go to the massage
parlor, sauna, in the fucking sauna,
and go to sleep and not wake up. There are so many holes in that story, it's ridiculous.
That's what I was thinking about. I was thinking about not someone that is trying to kill himself, but someone who is trying to avoid. Imagine that he's depressed. What do? You take drugs in order to avoid. You know what I mean?
Look, again, I wasn't there standing next to him. I don't know. A lot of this is just my opinion and theory based on, what I observed at the time and what I know. But he wasn't this full-on massive drug head like some people make out. Music still was his main drug. Yes, he used recreational drugs, but in Sydney culture, at that time, he was on the mild side. There are a lot of people who take way more shit than he was, like really bad. In Sydney, there's a massive Xanax addiction problem, for example. Relatively speaking, he wasn't that heavy a drug user. I think in his case, it was just a combination of a lot of things that all contributed towards a weakened heart and breathing problems. I mean, look, I'm pretty damn healthy, but, if I come out of a really hot bath or a hot shower sometimes, I'm like, So, again, I can just imagine, even if he had no drugs, no shit in his system, if he has sleep apnea, sleep breathing problem when he's asleep, if he has a little bit of a weak heart, if he's full of like anesthetic drugs and painkillers, and then he falls asleep in somewhere that's very, very humid, it's quite possible that he can stop breathing or have a heart failure. I know people who had heart failure and there was nothing wrong with them. Sometimes it just happens. And if Zyzz was that kind of person with that sort of, genetic weakness, and then again with years of clenbuterol use, and the steroids wouldn't have helped. Again, I really don't think that they were the major cause. He wasn't on them long enough. He wasn't training hard enough. He wasn't eating enough for that to be the sole cause, but it wouldn't have helped. But again, the clenbuterol, I think, is the main. And I mean, at the end of the day, we can speculate forever on what the exact cause of death was. Yeah. But my main point is I really have a problem with this. He committed suicide because of a bad nose job thing. My main point is just I really 100% believe that's absolute bullshit. Whether he had a heart condition or not is kind of besides the point. It was an accidental death. It was not a suicide. I'm 100% certain of that. There's no way. And again, even if he didn't have a heart condition, years of clenbuterol and all the other things combined could certainly have given him one.
You can fucking fall asleep and not being able to breathe. And if you don't wake up, usually when I am sleeping, if I'm sleeping like this, facing down, sometimes I woke up myself because I wasn't breathing. But if he has used drugs for the nose surgery, he's too sleepy. For whatever reason, he's not able to wake up himself.
There's so many areas you could speculate. Who knows what he was given as a painkiller? Or maybe, the painkillers from the hospital weren't working, so he tried something else from someone.
Yeah, many possibilities, yeah.
and he had a bad reaction to it. Maybe what he took wasn't necessarily bad, but if it reacted badly with what was already in his system, there are so many possibilities. Stop breathing, have heart failure, whatever. Even a simple allergy can do it. I discovered this recently, a supplement called GABA. I started taking that to help with my sleep, and normally you can take 1 to 2 tablets. So I was taking 1 tablet for a while, and it kind of helped, so I thought I'll take 2. I took 2, I went to bed and I lied to sleep, and I was just about falling asleep, and then, I don't know, my chest sort of tightened up and I couldn't breathe. And I was able to sort of roll out of bed, and I was just sort of hitting my chest and sort of moving around to try and get myself to breathe. If that had happened, if I'd fallen asleep and that happened, I wouldn't have woken up. It was scary.
Mm-hmm.
I guess I have an allergy to that supplement or whatever it's made from. Who knows? I mean, there are countless possibilities. But again, at the end of the day, these stories that he's committed suicide because of a bad nose job, it's ridiculous. Yeah. Ridiculous. I'm not saying this as an admirer of Zyzz or someone who interacted with him or anything like that. Just purely from a logical perspective and with my knowledge of physiology and biology and, how a lot of these compounds work, regardless of the details. I mean, Said's stories also have changed a lot. They changed a lot at the time, which didn't help